If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and another cutting video. Today I am happy to be cutting along with you the Maxine Project Tote by Kandou Crafts. Super excited to be doing this. We are also doing this for our Tuesday, June 2023 class. So if you decide that you'd like a slowed down version of this, make sure you check out the membership side and you will see where that is, where classes are in real time and not sped up, and so on and so forth. Just a reminder again that my studio is in my house and in my basement. So as I am recording this live without voiceover, you will hear road noise, you may hear airplanes, you may hear my dogs, and you may hear the living life inside my house. So please be kind in your comments and just know that my house is not soundproof, so that may be going on in the background. Anyways, let me show you the materials I will be using for this bag. Now, I do not have a bag to show you because this is my first time making it and I do not have a sample. I cannot use other people's pictures due to copyright reasons. So yeah, if you are seeing this, depending when you're seeing this, I should have a Meet the Bags video up already, and you can definitely check out that video to see this bag all completed. I will have that link down below in the description. I will also have linked down below in the description the designer's website, so you can definitely go on her page and get a lot of inspiration from all the Maxines that she has pictured there that she has shared. All right, so what I am going to be using for my main fabric, and I'm doing this in all cottons, is there's a really cute fabric. It's like coffee beans and everything, and this is called Deja Brew by Audrey Jean Roberts. Can you see that? And then for my lining fabric, I chose this. It was actually in the same collection. I bought these at Heather's Fabric Shelf here in Kamloops. She does have a website as well. I will try to remember to link that below, but this matches perfectly to the saucers right here in this coffee cup. And this one is called...
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
There's my Apple Watch talking. What is this one called? Oh, this is Deja Brew by Audrey Roberts as well. Oh my goodness. Right, and then there is just a small section. You could have a crossbody strap on this if you want. I am not going to be doing the crossbody strap, but there is a pocket accent, and I thought I would use up some scraps of this pearl vinyl that I got from Galaxy Customs. I cannot remember for the life of me what this one's called, but it's an off-white color. So this is just going to be a small strip that will be the top of an accent on the front. I will be doing my lining slightly different with my lining zipper pockets and my split pockets that I do in all of my bags. On that note, we are also going to be turning it a little bit different because we're going to leave an opening in the bottom of the bag for turning this through, and we're going to leave an opening in our zipper pocket so we can close that opening through the zipper pocket and then seal up the zipper pocket so we don't get that ridge in the bottom of the bag. So that is really all I'm doing different in this bag. Is just I'm going to add in some extra pockets that I like to use inside my bag, and then closing the bag through the zipper pocket and turning it through the bottom. So in the pattern, I believe she closed it through the bottom, which you can definitely do as well. For my handles, I am going to just be using some polyester webbing, and for my... there's a little teeny tiny area where you can tie it so it closes better. And I just found this at Fabricland. I actually don't even remember what it is called. I want to say it's twill tape. That might not be right. And then for the drawstring, I ordered some of this, I always want to call it parachute cord, but that's not it. Maybe it is? I don't know what it's called. Anyways, I just ordered some of this off of Amazon. Parachute cording? I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up later and do that. Man, oh man. Talk about taping live and not knowing. And then you just need one snap. You can either have a magnetic snap or you can use like a cam snap. I'm going to use metal snaps that I got off of Amazon for the front pocket. Again, that is optional as well. And besides that, and besides the zipper I will be adding in to the lining, there is no hardware for this bag. So this is super fun. This is a great project tote. I'm actually going to use this as my carry-on bag for a trip across the country that I'm going to be making. I think it'll be perfect. I can put in a small wallet. I can put in my knitting for on the plane, and my iPad, and everything will fit in there as well. And then when I'm done that trip, I will just use it as a project bag for some of my knitting or crochet or what have you. Anyways, now another thing I'm doing different here, there are two ways of cutting this out. So you can print off the pattern pieces, or you can go off of the ruler measurements in the pattern. For this one, because I'm making the large and I'm out of printer paper, I am going to be making the large size, and I am going to be going off of the pattern measurements because everything is square in this, which is great. Coco is saying hi to everybody. At the same time, I will not be showing or sharing the measurements that I will be cutting. You will see my ruler, but I'm not going to be sharing vocally what those measurements are. You have to buy the pattern to do that. Anyways, so yeah, usually I use the pattern pieces. This time I'm going to do it completely by ruler measurements and show you how I do that, which should be fun. And interfacing. She calls for using fleece in this bag. I am undecided what I want to use. You don't want to use anything, like you don't want to make this bag out of vinyl because then it's not going to sit to the top. That is why I'm using cottons. My exteriors, I may use EB Fuse Heavy, which is similar to a Deckable Light outside of the seam allowances. Or I maybe use fleece. We will find out when we get to the tutorial what I will be using for my interfacing. I am undecided right now. So either fleece, or I will be using a Deckable Heavy, or not Deckable Heavy, Deckable Heavy or EB Fuse Heavy. We will see. I will be backing all of my cotton pieces with EB. I'm actually going to use EB Fuse Medium. Thinking I'm going to be using EB Fuse Medium for all my cotton pieces. As well, I might be using fleece. I have a Pelon fleece that I think I'll be using, and that's going to give me just a little more structure to the bag without making it too hard to close. So let's say I'm going to use my fleece for my main stabilizer outside of the seam allowances, as well as I'm going to use EB Fuse Heavy, which is a little bit heavier than a medium woven interfacing. It's from Emmaline bags. It's similar to a Pelon 809, but it's woven and it sticks much better, and it gives fabric a nice, almost canvas-like feel. So I really like to use that for my exteriors. For my lining, I am going to be using EB Fuse Light, which is similar to an SF101 or a medium woven interfacing. So yes, I think that is my decision for my interfacing. So lining pieces, EB Fuse Light or woven interfacing. Exterior pieces, I'll be backing the cottons with EB Fuse Medium. You can also do EB Fuse Light. Make sure you back them all. And fleece. Actually, if you are on a domestic machine, I don't think, does she even call for main panel interfacing? No, she does call for woven interfacing. So yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to use the medium. Medium with the fleece outside of the seam allowances. So let me get this cleaned up and then we will start cutting. All right, here we go. So if you have watched my cutting videos before, you will know I like to mark on my cutting sheet what I have done, and what I cross it off as I go with my erasing sew line pen, so I can mark up this page, and then when I go to make this pattern again, all of those marks have gone away with minimal to no effort because it's air erasing. They just go away. It's not permanent on here. Now you can definitely cut out the pattern pieces for this. Again, I am going to go by the page that says working from measurements, but you can definitely cut out the templates as well. So working from the measurements, they go width to height. So if you're using a directional fabric like me, make sure you keep that in mind. Now I'm not going to share the measurements with you just because you need to have the pattern to do that, but I will kind of give you an idea of how I cut out this way. Now normally bags aren't as big as this one is, and my rulers aren't quite long enough to do it, so I'm actually going to mark this with chalk, and then I'm going to cut for my main panels. So what I've done is I have folded my fabrics wrong sides together like so, have it nice and flat, and I'm going to mark my measurement. So I'm going to take my width measurement using this ruler, and I'm going to mark my width coming a little ways away from the selvage. So I'm cutting both my main panels at the exact same time here. So making sure everything is nice and even. And I'm just going to go ahead, oops, and mark there. So definitely look at, I'm just marking what my width is here. So make sure you look at your measurements. Okay. And then I'm going to go from the bottom for my height. So again, I'm going to measure, cutting them both at the same time. Make sure it's nice and straight with that line. I'm just going to do the top corner like this. I can actually draw that line down. Same with on this side. Now I know you can double fold this somehow, but I myself can never figure out how to do that. But that's definitely another way to do it. And then you just got to join these two lines at the top, making sure your fabric is not shifting at all. Sorry, you're seeing the top of my head. I think I may have, just got to double check. No, that's right. Oops, I'm a little bit too high. This does save on paper and square pieces. Usually for the smaller sizes, you'll be able to use your rulers to do this, but this one is kind of a large bag here. So I'm just going to double check that I'm right. This one can actually go up a little bit more. Just a little bit off on there. The chalk just washes away, so this is good. Just make sure your measurements are right. Measure twice, cut once. I think I have a sign that says that somewhere. And then you just go in with your scissors or what have you. I'm going to go in with my rotary cutter. You guys will be proud of me. I actually changed my blade, and I'm going to cut both of those pieces at the exact same time. So again, I am making the large size. I didn't do any fussy cutting with this at all. So there's my two main panels. I'm just going to double check that they are the right measurements. That's good. I'm just using the bottom of my table here because I got a ruler on here. And that's good. Now we need to do, oh my goodness, I may have done this wrong. So that's if you're not doing the front pocket. I'm actually going to have to cut one of these up. So there's two ways of doing this bag. You can have the front pocket where you have two sides and then an accent in the middle with a pocket, which is the one I am doing. Or you can have no pocket on the front and back, and then you'd be cutting two out like this. That's fine. We're fine. So I'm going to decide which one of these I want for my back panel. They're both pretty much the same. Okay, now I'm going to take this front panel, this other one that I just cut, and we are going to cut them out. So I've cut one of my exterior fabric of my main panel. I'm now going to go down to my central front panel. So this is going to be the two sides of it. So we want these to be mirrored to one another. So I'm just going to take this piece and I'm going to fold it in half. And this is going to be a lot easier to cut. Okay, so make sure you're following your pattern measurements. Where am I here? Width is that way and height is that way. So you will be measuring. Now, because I need a little extra width on this one to go up, again, I'm not going to share my pattern measurements with you, but I combine my rulers sometimes to get what I need. Make sure this is nice and straight. So I'm going to cut my width first. I'm just going to go all the way up. And I have this on the fold, so I also want to make sure I cut it apart on that fold, and I left like 1/8 of an inch on each side. Okay, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut my height. Which will be right there. Again, you can use your rulers. So that'll be my center pocket. So it says 2 center front panels, 2 exterior and 2 interfacing. So there's my 2 of those, and we'll set those aside for now with our main back piece until we get to the linings. All right, so I can go ahead. I can cross up those things. So I've done my main panel for my large, my central front panel. I've done my 2 exterior fabrics, so I will cut that out. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut my front side panels. Again, using the measurements in the pattern, making sure you have it situated the direction you want it to go. So I'm going to once again fold this upon itself. Because I'm going to cut both at the same time, making sure my directions are going the right way. Okay, so I'm going to have to use both my rulers to get the height. Some of them you may not need to use 2 rulers like I'm doing. And I'm not showing you the bottom here because I cannot share what these measurements are. So make sure your fabrics are nice and even with each other if you're going to be cutting them at the same time. Bring it in a little bit more too. So I have my height here. Okay, right there. And then I'm going to have to add on to this. So I'm going to use my other ruler. I know it seems weird, but I just got the line I need to go here, and I'm going to use these both as my template for cutting. Again, this is just how I do it. It may not be the easiest way, but it does work for me. So double check that you have your measurements right. And I do, and then you can go ahead and cut those 2 panels. Down this way. I'm making sure I'm holding my rulers where I need them to be, just kind of like using acrylic templates. Could have marked those with chalk as well if you wanted to. So now we have, just move some bits out of the way. We have one big one for the back, these are my side panels. And my front panel. I am not sure where this one comes into play yet. Again, I have not made this pattern, so we will see as we go. I have not even read through the pattern, but it did say to cut 2 of these, so we'll see where this comes into play, because I really am not sure. All right, so now what we want to do is before we move on, we want to box some corners here. So it is saying, I'm going to grab this little one. So make sure you have these going the right way. So the center panel we can put away, but we need to cut out blocks in these corners. So you're going to follow, I like to use my little 4x4 thing here. And depending on which size, you'll follow on that page for what you're going to cut out from this corner. So this side, we're going to cut out from the left side. Make sure I'm cutting this right. So I'm going to go up and over like that. And on this side, I'm going to do it on the opposite side. All right. So that is what we have there. So we can set these aside. So you'll see these are mirrored to one another, which is what we want. Keep all my pieces together. I'm curious to see where this piece comes into play. All right, and then we want to do the same with the main back, or the main panel. We want to cut it out of each of the bottom corners. So again, make sure your fabric is going the right direction. And then cut out those corners. Now we will be doing the same with the lining panels. If I was smart, I probably would have cut those out first, but I'm not too worried about that. We'll do that next here, because I'm actually going to use these pieces as my template. All right. Okay, so let me see, is there anything else for exterior fabric? Central front panel, side panel, drawstring channel, which we will need here. 2 exterior fabrics. I think I'm actually going to pull out some coffee bean fabric for my drawstring panels. I think that will be super fun and just add a little element to this. So let me go grab that, and we will cut those out. So we're going to jump right into the lining. We will do, I'm getting a little off course. I'm trying to follow the pattern, and sometimes I just go rogue. So we're working our way down. So we cut our main exterior pieces first. So now I'm going to use those pieces as my templates, so I don't need to use my rulers. So I'm going to grab my main back exterior piece, and I only need to cut one of these. That's what I did wrong with the front part, because our lining panels are going to go together exactly the same as our exteriors. So I need one main lining panel that's the same as the back piece. So I'm just going to lay this down here and use the pattern piece that I cut as my template, and go ahead and cut around. Same with our box corners. I can just go ahead and copy what we had done, cut them out. Easy peasy. Then you only have to measure once. Okay, that's our one main panel. Again, this exterior I will back with EB Fuse Heavy. No, EB Fuse Medium, and also fusible fleece outside of the seam allowances. Again, I do not do interfacing in my cutting videos because we all cut different interfacings. I just share what I'm going to be using. So these 2 pieces can now go in the to be interfaced pile. Okay. I'm going to take, we need 2 of these. These are our center pieces. So again, I'm going to cut these at the exact same time. And fold this into itself. I should just go at the top here. Trying to keep the same direction going as I just cut that one, not that it really matters with this one. So I'm going to cut 2 at the same time by folding this in on itself. And just using the pattern piece as my template again. Lay it down nice and flat. Go ahead and cut that out. I love cutting patterns with measurements rather than having to use the paper templates. This one's a little harder because I did choose to do the large. So, and my rulers aren't quite big enough for what the measurements are, but as you see, you can get around it easily. Okay. So let's find the other one so I keep my pieces together. And I have figured out what the second ones are for. You'll see. All right, so I got 2 exterior and 2 lining of my central panels, and those can go into the to be interfaced pile. Okay. Next we have our side panels. So we need 2 of these mirrored to one another. So you only need to use the one piece to do that. I'm actually going to go up this way. Do my swirlies matter? I think they're kind of going everywhere, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. So I'm actually going to fold this right sides together, and I'm going to just lay one of these down, and this will cut this mirrored when we have it folded in half like this. So you just need the one piece. Make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, and use that piece as a template to cut both at the same time. All the way up to the top of my table. How about that, hey? And I can also cut out the box corner at the same time because we've already done that work. Just copy it. It's actually a pretty fast bag to cut out. Okay. Man, oh man, my watch is just going crazy. All right. So that gives us 2 exterior side panels and 2 lining side panels, like so, mirrored to one another. And we could put those aside. All right, go to our cutting list and mark off. Okay, main panel, I've got my 1 exterior, 1 lining. I still have to do the interfacing, which I will do off camera. I will have to cut my main panel interfacing, which I'll be using with my fleece. So you just go by the measurements it says there, and then go and box those corners again for that main panel interfacing. So I'll do that off camera. I've got my central front panels, 2 lining. You'll also need your interfacing for that. Front panel or front pocket lining. Okay, so do I want to do it in this? Yeah, I'll do it in this. Front pocket lining. So as per the measurements, find the right ruler, and I'm going to cut them both at the same time again. I'm going to fold this up. Again, my ruler is not quite big enough, so I'm going to go ahead and just get another ruler to help bring my width to where it needs to be. And I'm going to cut 2 of those as per the pattern measurements. Make sure I'm going the right way. Okay, and I know I got to clean it up this way. Just a smidgen. Okay, so that is my 2 front pocket lining pieces there done, ready for interfacing. Front pocket welt. What is a front pocket welt? I believe, yes it is. My front pocket welt is the accent part on the front and the lining slip pockets. So I am actually going to be doing those out of vinyl. So I'm just going to make a mark of that for myself. We've already done the front side panels, 2 exterior, 2 lining, just have to interface them. Interior pocket pieces, again, I'm going to be doing that slightly different, just like I do in all of my slip pockets. So, and same with my zipper pocket. So I will be adding both of those in. And I think that's all I have to cut from the lining. So I'll go ahead and cut those. Again, these are not part of the pattern. You can do the interior pocket piece as per the pattern, but I am going to do mine a little bit different. So just like I do in all of my patterns. So I am actually going to cut mine, my slip pocket piece. I actually think I'm not going to put the slip pocket in this. We have one little slip pocket. I'm just going to keep the zipper pocket that I am adding in. So I'm going to just cut my 2 zipper pocket pieces that I'm adding in. And let's see. I like to cut my 2 zipper pocket pieces. Again, this isn't in the pattern and I'm not doing the slip pocket that's in the pattern, but you can go ahead and do one if you like. And I just like to cut mine about 2 of them about 6 inches by 10 inches for the zipper pocket. So that's my 2 zipper pocket pieces. And for lining, that is everything. So let me clean this up and then we'll pull out the vinyl for my accent pieces and I'll show you how. Okay, so this is where we still do have to do these accent pieces and the welt pieces and our drawstring. We'll do the drawstring last. So this is my scrap piece of vinyl here. So we are going to go by the measurements of the pattern for this piece. You are going to need 1 exterior front pocket welt. But I'm using this instead of the exterior and the lining, so I am going to cut or draw out 2 of these. So I just like to draw on the back of the vinyl. As per the measurements, again, look in your pattern to see what they are. So I'm drawing both of them out here. 1 and 2. Oops, does that look right? So welt. So this is on the interior. There's a little slip pocket in there that mirrors the exterior slip pocket, and these are the little accent pieces that are on there. So again, you can definitely do them in cotton. I just think it's going to be fun to have a pop of vinyl in there. And that is really all I need from this, except for I'm also adding in that zipper pocket that I mentioned. So I like to use these cool templates by sewyours.com. I do all of my zipper pockets. I like to do them as I'm just going to draw around it for now. As overlay, it's my favorite method of doing a zipper pocket. Again, there isn't a zipper pocket in the pattern. I'm just adding it in. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all of this out of the scrap piece. And these 2 pieces, you can definitely use cotton instead if you prefer. Okay. my 2 welts. And that is where those second center panels come in, because there are 2 pockets, one on the lining and one on the exterior. So that mystery is solved. So I can put those away. If you've used cotton for these, make sure you're interfacing them accordingly. These ones I will not, because they're vinyl. And then once again, this isn't part of the pattern, but you can find free overlay templates all over the place or in other patterns. But I always use this acrylic one that I got from Sew Yours. I love it. In the tutorial, I will not be showing how to do the zipper pocket, but I will be linking in the description of the actual tutorial how to do the zipper pocket. I do them the same in all of my bags. It just gives a little extra something on the lining. Now, also you can see I put my 2 lines there for this. Usually draw that out and then cut it out, but I have this handy dandy tool that I got from So Clever. And you'll see what I mean. So I line that line up there and that line up there, and it's got little grooves that go past, and it fits a 45-degree rotary cutter perfectly, and it just cuts these rectangles out so perfect. So again, that's soclever.ca for these, and then Sew Yours for the actual shape template. But watch this. Ta-da! Amazing. Okay, so now all we have left to do is our drawstring channel. So let me clear this up and I will grab that fabric. Okay, so yeah, I'm doing my drawstrings out of this coffee bean just because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Sticking with the coffee theme. Again, my other project bag tutorial that I put out there, the Kandou one, or the Keto by Kandou, I did the same thing. So, drawstring channel, again, look at your pattern for the measurements you will need. I will not be sharing those. And I'm going to cut both at the exact, well, no, sort of at the same time. So I'm going to take my ruler. Again, you'll probably need a super long one. I'm not going to show where I'm at here. I want to show my length. Again, look in the pattern, cut it as per the size. I'm going to cut them both lengthwise, and then I'll cut this in half. Let me make sure I got this right. Oh, I almost didn't have it right. Okay. Fold this upon yourself. And for the large piece, the pieces are so long, but worth it. Okay. So I'm going to cut this just a little bit larger because I'm going to have to cut on the fold to make this into 2 pieces, because right now it's going to be 1 piece. Make sure I got the measurements right. Okay. And then I can go in. So I've put where my measurement wants to be along the raw edge. So I can go ahead and cut along the folded edge to give me my 2 pieces for my channel. And those are my 2 channel pieces. I think that's going to be super duper cute. So then you're going to go ahead, you're going to interface all of these as per the pattern, as per your interfacing choices, which I do not do in this video. All right, that's it. That's all. Really quick cutout. I think it was 20 minutes or so to cut out all of those pieces live real time. Even faster to interface it. Probably take about 10 minutes or so to get it all interfaced and cut out that way. And then it's time to get to the fun part of the sewing, which will be in the next video. So make sure, I will try to put it in the cards at the end where you will find the Meet the Bags video, as well as the tutorial, the sewing tutorial for this. This is going to be a fun and quick sew. These little projects really help my sojo get going, especially when my sojo has kind of kaput out, which I will admit it has lately, but I've been really enjoying making project bags. So until the next one, I hope you did like this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. Again, we have done, we're doing this one in the June 2023 Tuesdays, so a long class. If you're on the public side, you are seeing this after the fact, but you can definitely join the membership side and see all the classes in replay if you want a slowed down real-time class. Completely up to you. If you'd like to support my channel further, you can definitely buy me coffee, and that is linked down below. But until the actual tutorial, I'll see you guys again. Bye.